Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Sephora haul slash makeup haul. I have like some little items that were from Sephora, but yeah, if you guys want to see what I got, then definitely keep on watching. Okay, so all of this stuff I actually picked up during the Sephora VIB Rouge sale, the Sephora Holiday Savings Sale I believe it's called, and I wanted to do this beforehand, but I had this whole thing where I was filming a favorites video and I literally filmed the video like 7 times and I just gave up filming for about a week. So today is we're starting off strong. I just did one video before this, so that's why I'm kind of like very monotone, because I didn't know how it was gonna come out and I was afraid that I would put all this expression into it and I would have to refilm it, but it came out fine. So yeah. Okay, so for this sale I wanted to pick up necessities, so restocks, and try just a few new things, but I didn't want to go overboard because I am now kind of comfortable in my everyday makeup routine. I feel like I know which products I like, and I don't like to switch up too many things because I don't want to have an excessive amount of makeup. I already have a small like little storage bin of makeup, and I'm really trying to not hoard so many items. So all of the stuff that I did buy, I think I'm going to keep, and I really do like. Everything will be linked down below as well. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with some items that I purchased before the sale. So I was looking for a new concealer, and I knew I wanted to restock on my Kosas concealer. I was using this just strictly for my under eye concealer before, but I wanted something that's a little bit lighter. But the reason why I love this Kosas concealer is because it has a really nice pink undertone, and I feel like this helps neutralize my dark circles. So I like to put this under my makeup concealer, and also I feel like this helps neutralize my hyperpigmentation. So after I put on my foundation, I like to put this on as well. I'm in the shade 7.5W. I would recommend going to try these on in the store because the swatches online I feel like aren't that great. So if you're going to buy this, I definitely recommend going in store to look. The staying power of this is pretty good. I feel like the coverage is medium. It's definitely buildable. I don't feel as though that it's full coverage. I feel like Kosas is one of those brands that's like my skin but better. So you're gonna get natural looking makeup, but it is buildable. So if you like that kind of skin-like makeup look, I would definitely recommend the Kosas brand and their concealer. It's got a lot of skincare benefits in here as well, so I think it lays really nice underneath the eyes. I then picked up the Rare Beauty concealer. I picked up the shade 360W. I really like this. I feel like this is very friendly if you have a lot of fine lines underneath your eyes. This is not going to really settle into them, and this does such a great job of not creasing. It is so good. I picked up the Polish Choice exfoliant. This is the 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. I rarely physical exfoliate, I just usually chemically exfoliate, and I really like this. I feel like it does a great job. I talked about this in my favorites video. Since I do wear a mask, especially when I am doing eyelash extensions, my pores and I just tend to break out more, so this I think does a really good job of exfoliating my face. I do use this every other night, and I feel like it works fine for me. I do think you have to build up to it because sometimes it can be a little bit strong, but otherwise I think this is a great physical exfoliant, and it's like a cult favorite for so many people. Okay, so now to what I shopped during the savings sale. I actually went to Sephora twice. So my first trip, I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted to try the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. You guys know I'm a NARS like foundation girl. I love NARS foundations, but I wanted to try something different because I saw so many good reviews on this, and this particular color was always sold out. I got the shade 3 and 5-4, which it's more neutral. I talked about in a few Get Ready With Me's that my typical shade Tahoe from NARS wasn't fitting my skin tone anymore. It was coming off very dark, and I find that the older I get, my undertones change. So I feel like I'm very neutral now as opposed to being more yellow like I was before. So a lot of the yellow, heavy yellow based foundations and concealers don't work on me. And when I first tried this out on my skin, I was like, it looked a little too pink. But I'm wearing it today and I feel like it is such a great match. I don't find that I need to put foundation on my chest to match my face because I feel like everything blends really nicely. I do mix this a little bit with my Juvia's Place one just to make it like a smidge lighter. But otherwise, this is really, really great. I feel like the coverage is really good as well. And by the way, I think I'm gonna do a get rid of me video, just kind of using all these products so you guys can see how they perform. But otherwise, I really like this so far. This is the first time I've tried a Makeup Forever foundation in years, like probably since 2014, 2015. And I feel like this is really, really good. Okay, so I had to pick up the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. This is probably the best setting spray that I've ever used. This got me through the mask mandate. Like, I would line my face masks with a tissue so that the creasing didn't mess up my makeup. And the amount of this that I drenched my face in, like, it kept my makeup on so well. And then I stopped using it because one, I ran out, and two, I was into this very like dewy skin look, so I was using the Milk Makeup one, which is really good. It gives like a nice dewy finish, but I find that I like my makeup to look kind of more satin, so more on the matte side, but it still has like a nice kind of like sheen, if that makes sense. And this is perfect. This is like a holy grail. If you are going to invest in a setting spray, I would highly recommend the Charlotte Tilbury one. So I knew I wanted to pick up a new under eye setting powder. Sorry if you hear the bag crinkling, but I knew I wanted to try a new face setting powder. I was using the Huda Beauty Baked one in the shade Kunafa, which I really did like, but like I said, it was a very heavy yellow, and I found that in videos it was making my under eyes look very yellow. And I had gotten a birthday gift from like Sephora, and it came with the Laura Mercier translucent one, and I was like, let me just try it out. I ended up using the whole entire thing. And when I went to Sephora, I saw that they had this new ultra blurring talc free powder. And I really like how this feels. If you've ever tried the Too Faced under eye setting powder, that was my favorite powder. I just didn't like the shade range. It had like this very finely milled texture to it, and I feel like this has it, and I really do like this over the regular Laura Mercier powder. And I like this shade Honey better. For some reason, the other Honey one, it was a little too, I don't know what it was, it just wasn't good. But this one I feel like is the perfect balance of neutral and yellow, so that way when I put it underneath my eyes, it doesn't leave any kind of cast. I feel like it's perfect. Like I said, I got this in the shade Translucent Honey. This one is a little bit more expensive than the normal version, I believe, but I definitely think it's worth it. I then picked up the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish Powder. I saw this on TikTok, I believe. I saw a lot of women of color using this, and I really liked that bright eye look. When I first bought this, I used it with a brush and it looked so ashy. So I tried setting it with a dry sponge, and I think that the finish is a lot better. I am wearing it today, so I only have it underneath here and on my chin because it is pretty light. Like, I got the medium deep shade, and they have one more shade that's lighter than this, and it's like it definitely is yellow, but it's more on the lighter side. I don't know if I need to use a powder puff, so I might try that again. I do find if you don't set it like really evenly, it's gonna look patchy, and I have to do this step before I put on my blush and my contour, because if I put it on top of those two steps, it looks patchy and white. So I'll probably feature this in a video just to show you guys what I'm talking about, but if I can get it to set correctly, I think that I will really like this because it gives like that bright eye effect, which I usually don't like, but I'm trying to go for it because I feel like it makes you look more awake. So then I picked up one of these caviar sticks from Laura Mercier. I received a smaller version of this in my birthday gift, and I liked the color. I believe it was in the shade Strapless. It was a little too dark. I wanted something that looked almost like, not my skin tone, but I just wanted something lighter basically. So I decided to try these, and the reason why I wanted to try this was because when you put it on, it gives like that wet look, but then it dries down and it still gives you that look. So I picked up the shade Intense Moonlight. I was debating between this one and the regular Moonlight, but Moonlight I felt was a little bit more silvery and this one was a little bit more gold. I love the consistency and the payoff of these sticks. They are expensive. They're like $38, which I don't think is worth it, but I am like obsessed with the shades and how it looks. I really like lining my under eyes with this. I feel like it gives like that bright-eyed look, and I like putting this on top of my lids too, and I also used it as a nose highlight. And this is just such a pretty stick. I know they do have some gift sets, and I think Bobbi Brown has something similar, but this is the only one I've tried, and I really like it. I also wanted to pick up a new chapstick. I really like the Laneige Lippy Balms, but I wanted to try something new, so I saw this at checkout. This is the Sephora Lip Sleeping Mask, and I got it because it had a gingerbread on it. The smell isn't the best, but I do like that it gives a glossy look. I think that the look of it is very, very similar to the Laneige lip balms, but the consistency, this one is definitely more oily. It was only like, it was like under $5, so I just put this on my lash cart when I'm lashing, but otherwise I think this is really nice. Okay, so my second trip to Sephora, I picked up the Innisfree Pore Clay Mask. I picked this up because I felt like my pores have been very large lately, and just I've been breaking out, just very, very tiny breakouts, like in the most random places, and I felt like I needed something to like suck them up. So I feel like clay masks are the best, so I decided to try this. This is the first time I've ever tried a clay mask from Innisfree, and so far I really like it. I've only used it twice, and I feel like I've seen a pretty big difference in my skin. I feel like it helped shrink my pores, and also I feel like it's helping with like these small like textured breakouts, if that makes sense. So if you haven't tried it, I tried this out. I believe it was under $15, and it's got super volcanic clusters in there, which you definitely feel when you rub on, but it doesn't burn or anything. Your face obviously does get tight, but otherwise I do like this. Okay, so I picked up the Shiseido eyelash curler. I have been eyeing this for a while. This is raved about from people that have Asian lashes, and what I mean by that is when their lashes stick straight down, or if you have monolids, sometimes it can be hard to curl your lashes, and sometimes with lashes that stick straight down, it's very hard for them to hold a curl. And I find that all of my lashes up until the corner go down, but these like curl up, so that's why I use the Etude House curl mascara to hold them up, and people are saying that this does a good job at holding the curl up, so I decided to try it. I do feel like this fits around my eye better, and when all the time when I'm curling my lashes, I always end up pinching my eyelid, but I feel like this does a good job at not doing that. I tried it for the first time today, and so far, I wish I had a mirror, but so far I feel like the curl is holding up pretty well. I'm still going to use the same products, but I do find my lashes tend to droop down over time. But yeah, so far this is pretty good. I really like the color of it and it feels really nice too. I have the Sephora one, which is good, but it feels kind of cheap compared to this, and I just like the look of it. I then picked up 2 eyeshadows. I really wanted to try the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. Oh my god, it just looks so pretty. It looks like really nice and cool toned, but I was watching some videos on TikTok of it on girls of color or women of color, and I didn't like the color payoff. I felt like it looked kind of ashy, and I wasn't able to swatch it in the store because it sold out, so they didn't even leave a tester. But I really liked the glitters in there, and I love when glitters, like your natural eye color is showing underneath, but you still have that shimmer. And the Urban Decay Space Cowboy eyeshadow is trending on TikTok right now, and a lot of people were comparing it to the Sephora collection eyeshadows. So I decided to try these, and I picked up 2 shades. I picked up Milky Way and Lucky Penny, and Lucky Penny definitely gives you that glittery eye, but it's still like your lid shade, if that makes any sense. It's like a nice topper. And then Milky Way is really pretty. It's more of like a, definitely the glitter is more colored, I would say, so very, very pretty. These were $9, but for the Sephora collection they were 30% off as opposed to the 20, so pretty affordable. And I have a special thing in my heart for Sephora eyeshadows because one of my first eyeshadows that I wore every single day was from the Sephora collection. It was a glittery purple. I remember I would just take my finger and just literally like buff it like just on the lid, and then I'd put black liner right in my waterline. I actually am not the biggest fan of the shade purple, but yeah, so I really like these. I feel like the color payoff is really good, and they have a variety of shades too. And then I have some 2 miscellaneous lip products. The first one I got is from the Creme Shop, and this is a Hello Kitty collab. It's so cute. I honestly bought it because Hello Kitty looks like Santa, and it also looks like a macaroon. Very cute. It's in the shade Marshmallow Fluff, and to be honest, this lip balm sucks because it is so white. Like, it looks like I just finished eating a powdered donut. So I'll probably just use this right before I go to sleep, and then once I'm done with it, I'm just gonna refill it with just like regular Vaseline or something. But I got this from Marshall's, and then I actually was gifted this Etude House Fixing Tint. This is pretty good. It does leave a little bit of a tint, but my lips are a little bit darker, so this isn't like the best color, but I feel like I can make it work with a lip liner. And then I also forgot to mention, I also picked up these makeup sponges from Amazon. These are the mochi ones. I know there's another version like all by the same brands. I like these. They are very, very soft, but since they're so soft, I feel like they soak up a lot of your makeup. The first time I used these sponges, I was blending out my makeup and I felt like all of my foundation was gone. I usually use the Sonia Kashuk one, and that one's a little bit more stiff. So what I have to do is I have to like really blend out my foundation with the applicator first, and then I have to kind of stipple the outside so that the inner part can dry down a little bit, and then I could go ahead and kind of blend everything out, because otherwise this sucks up a lot of your foundation. But I'm gonna use it. It was only $10 for 6 of them. But yeah, so that is everything that I got from the Sephora sale, as well as some miscellaneous things. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said before, I will link everything down below, and I will do a kind of get ready with me with a full face of products so you guys can see how all of these items perform. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll text you guys next time. Bye!